From his childhood to his training as a U.S. naval officer, John Victoria has always believed in the importance of service, accountability, and commitment to excellence. With these core values, John founded Pollyanna, a digital marketing agency focusing exclusively on helping HVAC contractors profitably grow their businesses online. He's helped HVAC companies cross 8 figures in revenue and hundreds of additional inbound calls every month, and build truly consistent lead flow in their business by implementing effective internet marketing strategies. Additionally, John is also the host of the HVAC Financial Freedom podcast. He's on a mission to help elevate the HVAC industry online and eliminate entrepreneurial poverty. John currently resides in Arlington, Virginia. Welcome, John.
Awesome. So for today, I just wanted to go over a quick goal setting workshop. So there is a worksheet in front of everybody. And this is actually the same exercise that I take from all the business owners that I work with to figure out what goal do you want, what is your take-home pay, and what do you need to do with your KPIs, your leads, and your conversion in order to actually hit that goal. It's a very simple exercise, but it's a very helpful one to figure out what do you need to do to actually get to your goals. And so the first thing that I always love to recommend to everyone is you need to start off by dreaming big. I think there's a lot of guilt that a lot of people carry when they set goals for what they want. I'll share a quick story. So my family did not grow up, we're not like a wealthy family by any means. Both my parents immigrated over from the Philippines. My dad was in the Navy for 20 years. Mom, medical technologist. She immigrated over to the U.S. when the U.S. needed a lot of the medical assistants with nurses, technologists. And so I remember growing up, moved around every 3 years because my dad was in the Navy, and I remember there was this sports car that I just could not get my eye off of. It was this red Ferrari, and I was like, wow, that would be such a dream if I could have this one day. I told my mom that, and she said, John, that's more than a house. And what she was implying was that goal might be too big, right? That goal, that's not within our possibility. And so I just share that story because there's things that happen to us when we're growing up, and things that people say, and maybe not even need to say, that caps our belief as to what we can dream for. And so as we're planning out the session, the first thing I want to say is dream big and set ambitious goals. Let go of the guilt and maybe some of the feelings that you might have for some of the things that you want. Because if you kind of start with where you're at and some of the things that are holding you back, you're going to pull your punch, as they say. If you want to punch through a wall, you don't pull your punch, you're gonna hurt your hand. You gotta punch through the wall. And so that's the first thing, just to share that. But with that, now to start with the worksheet, this is a very practical thing. You want to first define your net profit goal for 2023. So to give you some rough numbers, for an HVAC business, typically, we'll see 15 to 30% depending on how well they run. So let's say they're $1 million business, 150 to 300 K. And, let's say owners pay 60 to 100. The rest is a profit distribution. But you want to start off with your net profit goal. And the way that you figure that out is you also want to figure out what are the things that you want to do? What are the things you want to pay for, right? Matt, where are you at? I know kids, daycare, what are some of those monthly cash flow things you're gonna have to take account for? Maybe there is, certain investments that you want to make, but what for you would be that net profit goal? What do you want your take-home pay to be? Okay, so with that, once you figure out what that number is, you want to figure out your total revenue goal. So let's say that you said, hey, I want to take home 500K this year. And let's say we take a rough average of 20%. So it's just a reverse engineering exercise. If you want to get that take home, divide your net profit goal divided by the net profit percentage. So say it's 500K divided by 0.2%. You might have to pull out your calculators to figure that out. But then, let's say you can calculate your total revenue goal. Another example, let's say that you had a $3 million a year business, 20%, 20, 40, so it'd be like 600K, 20%. But you can get a total revenue of 3 million. Okay, so now that you have your top line goal, you have to figure out how many sales do you need to accomplish that goal. So if you're in HVAC, the average, so between service and install, right now in this area specifically, for an install, we're seeing between 8,000 to 10,000 for an install. And then service, I think the average ticket right now is about 1,000 to 1,500. So let's just start off with, let's say an average of 5,000. Let's just to say that. So let's say you have a $3 million business, 3 million divided by 5,000. That gives you the number of sales that you need to hit your target. And so figure out what that is for your business. Whether that's HVAC, whether it's plumbing, whether it's a personal fitness business, whether you're looking to purchase a business in the future. It could be the number of banking clients, could be the number of clients you want to work with financially, and potentially the assets under management. That could be another thought. Hey, this is my target client, this is their assets under management. How many of those do I need to hit my total goal for assets under management to get your sales target? All right, and then from there, now that you have the total number of sales that you need, you have to identify your closing ratio and leads needed. So if you're talking HVAC, it's going to be a bit different because some people come in for service and then they have what's called a turnover, where they actually turn over into an install. So there's different conversion percentages, but to make it simple, let's just say you have a lead that comes in and you're speaking to someone. 1 out of 10, how many of those people will actually turn into a paying customer? For referrals, we see as high as 70 to 80%. For a cold lead, from an online lead, we're typically seeing 20 to 30%. So depending on how you want to grow your business, that's how you're going to figure out your ratios. So for you, what's that? Like, is it 20 to 30%? Is your industry more competitive? There's a lot more people trying to bid you down. Maybe that closing percentage is lower. You can't differentiate yourself. Is it higher? Do you have a unique product? This also could be applied to, if you're franchising, a lot of different angles for this. Maybe I'll pause. Does anyone have any questions so far? Is everyone okay? Just a reverse engineering math exercise. Is Amber good? Damani, you're good? All right, go to the next one. And then from there, so now you know your top line revenue, you know the net profit you're going to get from it. You're clear on your closing percentages. You're clear on the number of leads. So now your question now is like, how am I going to get these leads? And so currently, and maybe Damani, I'll put you on the spot, like, where are you currently getting your leads? Like top 3 channels?
Top 3 channels. Number 1, undoubtedly Instagram.
Okay, Instagram.
Number 2, I'd say is Facebook.
Facebook.
And the third one, I can say, are referrals.
Referrals. Okay. And then maybe another question to dive deeper. How's the conversion percentages on each of them? So let's say referral, like how would that differ from a Facebook or an Instagram lead?
So Facebook has actually been my weakest link, but when it comes to Instagram referrals, it's great. I'm looking at 70 to 80% those.
Okay. And why do you think that is? Why is it so different, use Facebook to Instagram referral?
I think it's primarily because I have a lot of my content there that shows my expertise and authority in the space. And so when people come in, they have already witnessed and already seen a lot of my content that shows, hey, he knows what he's doing, hey, he definitely could help me in my scenario, and he understands the deeper problems that I might not voice out loud, but that plague me day to day. And so they're hot when they come in.
Okay, got it. That's awesome. And so I just want to point that out. So you're going to prioritize lead generation. Like it's not going to be the same conversion everywhere. So where's your 80-20? Like the Pareto principle, where can you put your effort that'll get you the best yield? Maybe Matt, you have some thoughts as well on
I was just going to say I can share another case study if you can help.
Sure.
So I've been writing down little liner notes here. So, I mean, the number one channel for me is referrals right now. And my closing rate is probably similar there, 75% with referrals to what you have on Instagram. I was just hearing you say what your main channels are, none of mine, right? Because we have tight compliance stuff, right? So social media is not even on here for me, right? I have seminars and tabling stuff too, but referrals undoubtedly are the closing rate's a lot higher.
referrals. And then I know you do a lot of events too. How does that play into your strategy?
I was just looking at the closing rate there is lower actually than
Interesting.
Yep.
Is it by a difference of like 10%, or are you saying like massive, like 30%?
Oh, massive. Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's something that I didn't even realize until we had to put on paper here.
You know, I share for myself as well. Digital marketing specifically for home services, lots of companies. I get a lot of referrals. Closing rate is, I'd say it's around 50%. And then aside from that, a lot of social media, keeping people top of funnel. And then Brian, I know that you might have some feedback too. Top 3 lead generation channels for you.
Similar to probably YouTube. Facebook and referrals, 50-50, pretty much. Other than that, if you want to call lead generating events, that's kind of my third, but then that's still a growing aspect. And then you want to talk conversions.
Sure, yeah. How does that look?
Conversions at Facebook, I'm at like 80%.
It's pretty high, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're saying like on your Facebook, like someone who's your Facebook friend, it's not like Facebook ads or something.
Right. So it's just a warm lead because they already know me, see like my content, it's there. And I feel like Facebook is doing a good job at pushing out your content right now because it's still a growing source versus where I think Instagram's a lot more saturated. People are posting content consistently that are ad-based for services or products. What else? Referrals, I mean, if you want to talk referrals, that's just a really warm lead. When you have another person who vouches for you, I think that's just the golden ticket. If you mess that up, I don't know what to say about that.
You can't be helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a common ingredient for everyone, referrals, know, like, trust. So the thing that I'll prompt everyone with is that most people accept referrals passively, right? They just wait for referrals to happen. How can you switch from a reactive place of getting referrals to being proactive? What are some, you don't have to answer this now, but just a question to think about. How do you proactively create more referral relationships so that you're not just waiting for the next referral to come? Yeah, ask for it.
Ask for what it is that you're looking for and how to best make that introduction.
Exactly. Yeah. And then one thing we've done in the past too is establish formal referral relationships with other marketing agencies who don't offer similar services. So they're actually referring business to us and they have a financial incentive to do so as well. So, lots of different ways, but with that, just prioritize what your top 3 lead generation channels are. Think through what some other people have said. most of the times people are very reactive, but how can you also switch your top lead generators into proactive channels as well? And the next thing you also want to think about is your capacity for growth. We work with a contractor locally. They're at about $3 million in revenue, about 10 technicians, and we got started on a marketing program for them. The worry that they had was they were going to get so many leads that they would not be able to keep up with it. And they were very worried about the service side of things. Can we actually fulfill this work? Can we still bring the level of customer service to all these new people that are coming in? And the other trend that's happening within the trades is the labor shortage. There's a demographic issue. Most people in the trades, I think, the average is about 50s to 60s. A lot of the familial businesses, their kids don't want to take the business. And so thinking through capacity for growth, like, do you have the manpower to be able to fulfill on all the work that you want to bring in? And so you can want to achieve this net profit goal, but do you actually have the capacity for it? And so one question to think about is, what is your staffing plan? How are we going to get the people in to fulfill the work? Part of that is, finding the people, but also do you have the processes and trainings and the standard operating procedures in place to do that? Now, most business owners that I know don't have that. Because we get into the business because we're very passionate about our work. We love our work, but we don't want to do the boring, let's systemize and train and all those things. But if that's it, then I tell business owners all the time that you have a job, not a business. Because if you stop working and you can't generate an income, that's a job, not a business. And so you need to have a team in place to be able to fulfill the work, leadership as well, in order for you to actually grow. So just some thoughts, just trying to jog some thoughts. And lastly, now that you have a lot of these numbers and some thoughts, let's think about some of the key projects that you want to work on to get you to those goals. They could be marketing initiatives, they could be operations focused, they could be hiring key team members into your business. And then I would like to do a share around the room. So let's do a quick pause for a few minutes, and then we'll return back on some of the key projects that you're going to work on to grow your business. Oh, you're good. All right, so I think that's back to Amelia.
Back to me. All right. So I love that some of you guys took the wind out of my sail, or took my thunder, if you will. Think about what is one step that you can take today. What is one step that you can take to be able to achieve one of those actions? So I know that Sam mentioned meet an SBA person or a business banker. What's one step you could take to make that happen? What's one step that you can do today as you walk out of here or tomorrow morning? That's just the easy step. It doesn't mean you have to go take the big leap and start the business or to take that next big one. But what's that first step that you can take that'll get you there? So if you take a second, write that down, and then you can take a break.